You spent most of the adventure sailing up and down the river with the skeleton ferryman, who never got a name. You fought a couple drow at an odd choke point between between two little bits of cave, and walked your way up here to meet up with a bunch of hobgoblins. The hobgoblin captain, Cluse, the Skull Cleaver, recognized that you two were adventurers and ushered you up north to see if you can help out with Azrok's war efforts, or possibly just help out around their little settlement. You were given 2 bugbear guards named Zolvarg and Crud. And if I remember correctly, Silly Pickles accidentally hurt Zolvarg's feelings by snickering under her breath
Nice.
about his name.
How did he hear it?
Got very good hearing.
You're taking what was largely meant as a non-canon joke and giving me consequences for it.
What consequences?
So what'd you get for making jokes?
His feelings are hurt. He's gonna betray us and kill us later.
Yes.
No, he's gonna betray us and kill us now, not later. I'm just kidding.
Without a gun.
Damn it! What do you mean my character's gone? Where did she go?
It's a special gun that deals pure force damage.
Oh, I'm so excited for the warlock changes. Not to derail us, but you can apply the effects of like the Eldritch Blast, like the grabbing, pulling, pushing, to your choice of warlock cantrip. So I could make a grasping firebolt. I'm so excited.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Gives you some nice, good reasons to use other cantrips in addition to Eldritch Blast.
Yes. Not counting the one issue that I don't normally actually people for, and that's the fact that you can't target objects with Eldritch Blast. The whole like, why use Firebolt? Well, actually, it has written you can't target that barrel with Eldritch Blast. But it's not really something that I bring up very often. Because that's like, now you're like being really pedantic. Like, really? You're telling me I can't blast this barrel with Eldritch Blast? Like, I try to shoot it, I hold my arm out, and it just like goes wide. And I'm like, what the fuck? It like homes in on the nearest creature.
So it specifies like you can only target creatures with it?
It says, here, let me check real quick. Eldritch. I almost said knight.
Oh, yeah,
What's the
target
first
a
habit?
creature within range.
But yeah, most people don't actually restrict warlocks from, hey, they want to blast the door in with Eldritch Blast, be my guest. Maybe it's a creature. That's how you can tell whether the door's a mimic or not. If Eldritch Blast gets to target it. But anyway, I digress. Back to business.
All right. Well, the 2 of you all being ushered up north, then.
Okay. Yep, I assume Daffodil's under Blockhead, but I will continue to follow. Oh. I guess I was sitting on you. I'm so sorry.
These goddamn like winding pathways.
Mm-hmm.
Be the death of me.
Oh yeah, I ran Curse of Strahd last night, and the players were in. Let's just say it's an area that requires. It's very dark, so I had to hide and reveal a radius around one of the players.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a lot of work, because they would like walk, they would traverse towards a direction. I'd reveal, polygon reveal, polygon reveal, and then I'd like close off behind them with squares. So hide, 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 hide.
Yeah. Good. Go that.
Oh.
Enough. As you guys pass through this little this wider expanse of the cave tunnels, you see a collection of 6 bugbears sitting hanging around here, chatting amongst themselves. One of them is leaning on a great club, and as soon as the hobgoblin crud approaches, they all kind of snap to attention. This one moving slightly out of the way. Crud nods to them, and you all continue on. When the bugbears feel confident that the hobgoblins are not looking at them, a couple of them eye the 2 of you suspiciously. Gives off the sense that they might have attacked had you not had an escort.
I'm sure that Bralef feels the same way. But I will have Dolce smile, like, not nervously at them, but awkwardly, like, smile, thumbs up. You know what? You know how you can't sorry, not to be like this, but you know how like there are difficulties in playing evil characters sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't play a girl who isn't a girl fail in some way, shape, or form. Like, I'm trying really hard, like, oh, one of my characters should probably be more of a badass. The other one should be a little bit more like stoic. But nope, they're all just awkward. Like the kind of people who would say you too after someone says enjoy your meal or enjoy your movie. I just can't help myself.
The hotel.
The same problem with playing guys.
Sorry, what was that?
You have the same problem when playing guys.
I think I do. I think it doesn't matter. I just always...
Lightning, I have some bad news for you.
What's the bad news?
I think I may have found the source of your problem.
Yeah. I hope it's not me. It's probably not me. Let me know.
Anyway, so we walk down the hallway. Weird how all of my characters end up hating their mom.
It'd be funny if you meant like one specific character's mom. Like they all hate this. Everyone hates this one mom. Like clickbait thumbnail material.
It's a funny coincidence that all of my characters are misogynist. I don't like
randos and D&D be like.
It's what my character would do. I don't know what to tell you.
Stop. Oh, the pain.
You're physically assaulting the other players in real life. It's what my character would do.
So my friend went on a work trip where they go around like visiting companies and stuff. And so as they were leaving, like all the companies were regular, like maybe corporations, but there was one quote unquote company they visited that was just like these 2 old dudes in a trailer. who I guess make things. And as they were leaving, like I guess her friend, went up and shook the old guy's hand, but then the old guy turned to her, who is Asian, and instead of shaking her hand, he leant in for a bow.
Ah,
It's awkward.
It's what his character would do.
God.
So, Crud, what is life like down here? You ever think about have any dreams, aspirations?
Life down here is hard. We're at war with those drow bastards. My dream is to wipe out those drow bastards. And my aspiration is to keep wiping out those drow bastards.
what do you do once you do that?
What do you mean?
Once they're wiped out,
Yeah, they're wiped out. We did it. We will have won.
then what?
What do you mean?
What will happen after that?
Well, obviously we
I just see like the gears, like steam coming out of his ears.
you get the you hear a squeak coming from inside of his head, like some kind of small rodent is walking over time, running on some kind of like treadmill or wheel, in his brain. God, answering Dolce's question. Can talk, fun.
So without the fun, just wipe out every last one of them, wipe out every last one of them, and wipe out every last one of them.
State your first name, last name, and occupation. Lizard man, lizard man, lizard man.
If I had to take a shot in the dark, I'd say you might enjoy pottery.
What's that?
Ooh, I wish I had that as a artisan's tool.
You take clay and shape it into various shapes using a spinning table, and then cook that clay, and it turns into a pot that you can store things in.
I don't understand how cooking clay would turn something into a pot, but I don't know. If we ever win the war, I guess I can look into that. Zolvog walks up behind you guys and says, "Ma'am, would you mind not confusing my coworker? We need to focus on the war."
Yeah, I guess so. Jeez.
War with those drow.
Exactly. That Crud will continue leading you guys down the pathway. As you guys continue down this path, you notice a very distinct, very pungent smell coming from this side cave.
Oof.
It's already easy to identify by the smell alone, but as you pass by, you can spot the edge of a just massive pile of corpses.
Oh, Daffodil, you're glad you can't smell that. Oh. Dolce like pinches her nose and continues to walk.
You
The
can
other person.
spy some drow corpses in here, but the
Oh.
pile is primarily goblins and hobgoblins.
Makes a mental note of this room.
Yeah, glad we're on your side.
As Zolvog approaches behind you two, he says, "You will be able to move freely through our territory soon. I would advise staying away from this room."
Noted. No reason for me to go wandering in there, that's for sure.
I can think of a couple reasons, but I'll stay away.
I mean, yeah, treasure would be nice. I'll have to see if I have invisibility yet. Oh, by the way, I'm really excited for the Eldritch Knight changes in Revised because they don't limit me to just evocation and abjuration spells.
Yeah, you mentioned something like that.
Yeah. Excited. I'm going to remake
have-
Dolce as a warlock. Is that what you're saying?
Nice. I've been pretty obviously not paying that much attention to things.
I mean, that's fair. It's a lot to have to pay attention to or care about in the first place, so you're good. I'm sure you'll come across someone who will summarize it concisely, perhaps in video form. I would say that would be me, but I'm definitely not going to be summarizing anything concisely.
Mood. As your group moves further down, you spy another hobgoblin captain. He and Crud exchange a salute that you don't recognize. And remind me, either of you guys speak Goblin?
I
Oh,
don't think so.
that's a good question. They are shorter, but no, I only know Dwarvish, Gnomish, and Common.
Okay. Then the hobgoblin captain, after they are done with their salute, says something to Crud in Goblin, and Crud quickly produces a couple sheets of paper, hands them off to the captain.
Homework.
Captain examines them a little bit, and gives a quick nod and hands them back, and then steps to the side, ushering you down the hallway.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got comprehend languages or nothing. Let me double check. Nope. Oh, would I be able to ask if there was a way I could like ascertain based on the body language? Like, are these papers like, oh yes, time to kill these people, or more like, oh yes, feel free to enter this passage. You're good.
Well, as you are contemplating asking this question, Crud maybe anticipating the curiosity, or maybe just thinking it wise to go over procedure, explains as he continues down the pathway, say, so when we get into Azrok's hold, we're going to bring you over to registration. You two will be registered as official guests of the hold, and you'll be given such identification papers.
Ooh.
From there, you'll be able to roam about the hold freely, but just be aware, occasionally the captains will, upon seeing you, need to see your identification papers. Rest assured, if you do lose your papers, it's not going to be battle upon sight. You will, however, be taken back to registration to re-register.
Okay, makes sense. I'll try to keep them on me at all times.
Be aware also that your first registration is free for new guests, but the registrars will most likely recognize you. You are fairly distinct looking, and there is a fee for repeat registration. Mostly just to dissuade people from being careless with their papers.
No worries, I'll store it away. And knowing me, she'll probably forget about it. I guess she'll just like wedge it into her wallet so that she'll theoretically never be without it.
Put mine inside blockhead.
Oh, wait, can I double check? Now, one thing that's weird, the passageway, the tunnels that you're currently leaving, are area 17 on the map. Guess what area you have just entered? Being
42.
Azrock. You're not like you got the right idea. You are entering area 21.
Okay.
18 was where you found the fucking Mimikin notes. And 19 was where you passed the Chimera.
What?
And 20 is where you had the fucking encounters with the Drow and the Spiders.
Huh.
And then you went from 20 over to these tunnels, which was 17.
Mm-hmm. Counting.
There is literally no way to go directly from 17 to 18 or vice versa. Insanity. I hate
work in
this map.
Walmart. I'm used to the letter organization being bullshit.
It's fine. One sec. Go. So you make your way through the tunnels, and you enter into the clear, collapsed ruin of another city. Let's see. This cavern has 30-foot high walls and is a maze of single-story stone buildings, many of which have partially collapsed. Most of the buildings have 10-foot high walls and no remaining roofs. The narrow streets, big air quotes, between the buildings are strewn with trash and filth. Homeless rats scurry around every corner. Hanging from several structures are tattered yellow banners bearing a symbol that matches some basic iconography on the various hobgoblins that you've seen, suggesting that this is Azrog's sigil, a bloody handprint inside a hollow red triangle. Even as you enter the city, air quotes again, proper, you see a passing patrol of 3 hobgoblins and another captain. As the captain sees you, he once again exchanges a quick nod with Crud, walks up to Crud and asks again in Goblin what you now know to be a request to see his papers. Once again, Crud produces them quickly, hands them over, and they share a basic nod. They have a quick exchange in Goblin, and then Bud steps aside and lets the captain address the two of you. He introduces himself, saying, "Hello, adventurers. My name is Varg Dodge. I'm one of the captains patrolling this area. Crud here tells me that you two have been sent up here by Captain... What is it again? Liuse. He's going to bring you over to registration. When you are done there, I would like to request your presence back here."
Of course. We'll head back this way after registration.
Thank you. With that, he steps back into formation, addresses the other hobgoblins in his party, gives some quick orders. The three of them salute, and then take up guard positions around the area. Yeah, good enough. And Crud turns to you guys and says, "All right, ladies, follow me." Well, you could tell that the bugbears regarded you with suspicion. The hobgoblins seem to have a bit more either decorum or professionalism.
Nice.
You're not entirely sure, but they do not seem to be eyeing you. They all seem to be intent on keeping an eye on their designated posts.
Nice.
"Well, this is it," says Crud. "This here is registration. Go inside. The clerks are able to speak. But we have clerks that are trained in a multitude of languages, so I'm sure that at least one of them will be able to speak Common, or whatever the in-universe name for this language is. Just explain that you've been sent here by Captain Cleose, and they'll give you your visitor papers. Make sure to have those on your person at all times in case any other captain requests to see them."
Okay.
That
Thank
he gives you the same salute that he has been giving the various captains. Zelvarg, but behind you, out of the corner of your eye, you see that Zelvarg is mirroring the same.
Oh
salute.
No. Dolce was gonna wait. Is it like they're saluting to each other, or they're like saluting? They're both saluting to me because I was about to have Dolce. It has not been 2 months since the last time I thought someone was waving at me. I just want to see what the situation is here.
They do seem to both be saluting to your group, though.
Woo! Okay, bullet dodge, arrow dodge. Thank you. I will salute back.
Yeah, kind of like a soldier saluting you as a last little show of respect before heading off.
Okay. Ew.
If you're not in the military, is it considered
I'm not
appropriate
sure.
or inappropriate to salute back if a soldier salutes you? I do know through past experience they don't like it when you spit at their feet.
Oh, really? Fuck. Well, I've been doing everything wrong.
There was that one guy that seemed into it, but that might not be standard. You entering into registration?
Yeah.
All right. Just give me one moment. I wasn't entirely sure if I was actually going to make you guys go to registration, but it seemed like a funny idea. So give me one moment. I'm just going to quickly read this. Well, this requires a little bit more than I'd expected. Give me one moment.
So this is a real thing in the book?
Oh yeah. I didn't make anything up yet, except for a couple names: Zulvog, Crud, and Vod and Vog Dodge. None of those guys have names.
Okay.
But I have not made anything up about Azrok's hold.
Okay.
Well, Vog Dodge does not request you to come back to see him after you're done registration. You are supposed to go somewhere else, but that's supposed to be like basically a quest hook for something that I'm not doing because that is outside of the scope of what I want to do here. But yeah, this is legit, and I think that this is going to be fun.
Nice. I'm excited.
All right, you're free to enter. You never go into the already lit up area.
Light up more than 2 inches of it.
I gave you multiple tiles on which you can stand. So, as you enter the room, you note. I want to actually see if there's any other more fun music I can go with. How's this? How's the vibe for this one again? Yeah, doesn't exactly fit the DMV, but why not?
This is the best D&D I've ever been to. If this is the music that's playing.
So, you enter into the room and you find that it is while all the space in the town outside of here is illuminated by very basic torches. The space in here is illuminated by oil lanterns. Each individual goblin has an oil lantern at their own workstation. You see 6 goblins dressed actually fairly nicely. Like they have like slightly smudged, kind of grimy, like, but very like well-to-do outfits on. Like something that you would probably expect to see on like a gnome cloak back on the surface. All of these goblins are wearing like pretty fancy little duds.
Nice.
You could see a couple of them actually have actually have spectacles on, helping them with their walk. Each one is tirelessly scribbling away at a piece of parchment with their own inkwell and quill. For more directed, immediate light, each of them also has their own little candle as well. One or two of them look up at your approach, but they do not seem fazed by your appearance, and they just immediately get back to the tasks that they're working on. At the far end of the room, there is a hobgoblin behind a large wooden podium. Slightly, it's very clearly like seen some. It's very clearly been used for a while. It seems to be on the older side. It is still doing its job though, and certainly doesn't look like it's about to fall apart. The hobgoblin similarly is wearing fairly fancy clothes and also is wearing a pair of spectacles, though the lens on one of them is cracked near the top right.
Damn, wish I was mending.
As you approach, the hobgoblin on the other side spies you, and while the goblins immediately got back to their tasks, the hobgoblin ushers you further in to come speak to her.
Alright, I'll make my way closer to her. Hi, we're here to get registered. We were escorted here by Crud.
Excellent. Great to hear it. I'm Tilden Hamfist. I'm in charge of the registration office. Approach any of the clerks. They're all working on something, but identification papers always take priority. So just pick any clerk, take a seat at their station, and rest assured, the process goes pretty quickly. Just make sure to hold on to your papers. All of the captains are going to need to see them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess, well, with you here, I'll end up here. Beside, Blockhead.
Excellent. So, tell me Tell me, Bralef, are we getting identification papers for Blockhead too?
If he needs them.
Well, simply put, you seem to be the only person that ever views Blockhead as like a being and not a cube of wood. So so by default, the answer would probably be no. But is Silly Pickles going to like try to get identification papers for him?
He will set him on a chair. So yes.
No,
Excellent.
not D&D without it.
All right. So the goblin that so we'll go with Silly Pickles first. So Silly Pickles sits her armor, I guess, down in front of a goblin cloak. He looks up at you. He halts his walk and looks up at you, grabbing a fresh piece of parchment. And without getting into any real pleasantries, he looks you dead in the eye and just starts asking questions. Very simple one-word questions. Name.
Silly Pickles.
Any space in there?
Oh, like my full name? Daffodil space Silly Pickles. But no space in Silly Pickles.
Thank you. How do you spell daffodil?
Daffodil.
Daffodil, Silly Pickles. 2 words, no space in either. Race.
Fairy.
Fairy. He gives you a quizzical look, and then
I mean, you can put ghost if that doesn't work.
he gives you a quizzical look, and then keeps writing something on the sheet. Could you give me a perception check?
I think I'm good at this. Nope.
All right. So that's an 8. What's your passive perception?
15.
Okay. Well, with your passive perception at the very least, you can tell by the movement of his quill, it looks like he has written down fairy and then most likely in parentheses wrote undead.
Yeah, fair enough.
Age.
Very enough.
When I died, or like together, or
Together.
together.
Together that you will most likely not their first undead guest, and you most likely will not be their last. Unless the war goes poorly.
Well, let me check. How long do D&D fairies live?
I don't know.
I was like 38 when I died, and I don't remember how long it's been.
38 question mark. Height.
Whatever you said, she's like 2 feet tall or some shit. 2 or 3.
He looks at your full set of plate mail that's very clearly beyond 2 feet tall and gives you another quizzical look.
Oh, the armor dropped. Without the armor, like 2 feet tall. With the armor, like 6'2".
Oh, 1 sec. eye color.
Black.
Do you
Black.
have eyes?
Started reading about the requirements for the identification papers, and I got so excited because I was like, oh, I get to make these guys think about bullshit they've never had to deal with.
Uh,
Home city.
fucking any 5e Fey Wild cities.
See what I mean?
She'll just say Feywild.
He regards you suspiciously as you've just named an entire plane of existence.
That I'm pretty sure doesn't have fucking cities in it.
Excuses. Notable skills.
Possession, throwing, stealth, perception, medicine, investigation, insight, constitution saving throws, dexterity saving throws, strength saving throws.
All right. He finishes writing down your bizarre set of notable skills, and then evidently begins transcribing a duplicate of everything that you just wrote down, or that you just gave him. And on those two sheets, he scribbles something else out a little bit more and hands you back your copy of your identification paper, which appears as such, but also at the bottom has a very crude drawing of your appearance. Is essentially just drawn you as a basic bedsheet ghost with some very boxy armor.
Yeah, good enough.
All right. Now we're going to go over to Dolce.
Okay.
Your goblin clerk seems a bit more personable. He greets you with a little bit of enthusiasm, saying, "Welcome to Azrock's Hold.
Thank you.
Here for your first time?
Yep. First time.
Oh, you're gonna love it here.
Nice. I'm excited.
Very busy this time of year. You know, what with the war and all."
Happy to help. He like cracks her knuckles.
Excellent. We love to see that sort of enthusiasm. Now then, he dips his quill in some fresh ink. As the two of you are going through the process of getting your papers written up, that you notice that there was the goblin between you seems to be having a bit of a frustrating time with Blockhead.
Sure.
You can just hear him saying, like, he's trying to maintain politeness and professionalism, but you've definitely heard him say name at least 5 times.
I wish I had ventriloquism. I'm tempted to minor illusion.
He's very clearly getting frustrated.
What?
Anyway, so Dolce, the goblin in front of you, kind of side-eyes his co-worker, rolls his eyes a little bit, and turns to you, puts on his best customer service smile, and says, anyway, name?
Dulce de leche, and she minor illusions the words above her hands. It's kind of like whenever I go somewhere, I just pull out my license, because instead of spelling my real name, I'm just like, here you go. I'm just going to make things a little easier.
That's fair. I have to do that every time someone asks me for my how to spell my last name. I'm looking forward to not having to do that in the future. How exactly do you spell Dulce's name?
Oh yeah, let me where is this? It is like that.
All right. Race.
Human.
Age.
23.
Height.
Oh, it's hold on. According to Roll20, it is bio 4'10", which is 2 inches shorter than I expected her to be.
Eye color.
One is brown, the other one is more of a gray. I have to double check this. Her right eye is brown, her left eye is gray. Which I actually don't know how they do that on like licenses, like heterochromia.
Who knows? As the goblin continues down, the goblin in between you is very clearly getting frustrated again. Except this time he's not asking for name, he is asking for age. Somehow
Oh! Nice.
The one in front of you is asks, home city?
Dale.
Notable skills?
Let me take a look. Acrobatics, athletics, insight, perception, stealth, and schmoozing the ladies. I see that she does not have performance check. She has just the one, but yeah. As Bralef was looking up the Feywild stuff, I was also looking up stuff on my end.
Similarly, this goblin transcribes a copy of what he just wrote down for you and hands you your copy along with a crude drawing of you. For the most part, it is essential. Like, crude drawing is a bit generous. It's about one step above stick figure for the body. But then the face is, like, immaculately detailed. Like, this guy has a future at, like, when this war is over, this guy has a future as, like, a police sketch artist or, like, just maybe just an artist in general if he's lucky enough. But he's clearly, like, put all of his eggs in the, like, portrait and profile basket.
That's funny.
He hands you back your papers.
It reminds me of Oh, nice. It reminds me of in Princess Jellyfish, the anime. One of the male characters, like butler characters, can't draw anything unless it's like a luxury car. I think it was like a Mercedes Benz. So when he I think the police were interrogating him or something, or someone was interrogating him. He's like, yeah, so the person looked like this, and he drew a stick figure, and then the car looked like this, and he drew like an immaculate like replica of the car. It was insane.
Nice. As the two of you finish up getting your papers, you stand up, and as Silly Pickles is about to collect Blockhead, you notice that there is a copy of some identification papers in front of Blockhead, and the goblin in front of him is like talking and joking and laughing and like. Sorry, I got so worked up over a moment ago. It's been a long day. We've got a lot of paperwork we're kind of behind on. But you collect Blockhead, and you see that he's got fully set up papers as well.
Nice. Oh, D&D.
Good.
Ordained minister.
Who'd have thunk?
Nice. Dolce, if you ever settle
He
down.
did lie about his age, but you know.
Well, if you had to pick one thing to lie about on here. Nice. Oh, this is exciting. 1 foot. Feels like 5 feet sometimes, but yeah.
Never winter.
It's a city.
Yep. Beautiful.
Figured I wanted to go with something a bit more recognizable. Thought it'd be funnier than like making up one or going with a lesser known one that would look like I made it up.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to call a quick break just so I can get a new drink. I might wanna set up. I might want to turn on the AC again also because it's getting warm.
Yeah. All right.
What would you like to do?
Well, I will scrutinize it very closely just in case something goes wrong down the line. I just want to really admire the handiwork before we presumably go over to meet with the other captain.
Yeah, I forget. Were we told to do anything afterward?
You were asked to go meet with this guy over here, Vog Dodge.
Yeah, we can do that.
God, it is 83 degrees out right now. It is 11:30
right?
in the morning. It is 11:30 at night. It is still 83 degrees. Oh my god. Time to go kill some oil executives.
For real.
So, you said you were scrutinizing your identification papers very closely. Is there anything in particular you're looking for now?
No, just making sure that I know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much just it. It's I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I know it wouldn't hold up to scrutiny, but I'm imagining a situation where I'd have to flash a minor illusion of it. But like obviously they'd have to like grab the paper and then look it over like they have been doing, so it wouldn't work. This is just the first thing that came to mind. I just want to make sure I know what it looks like, because for example, when I played the game Heavy Rain by Quantic Dream or whatever it's called, you play as a father who has lost his son, and the guy's like, so what color's your son's hair? I'm like, shit. What color jacket was he wearing? They like give you like 3 options to choose from. What color was his backpack? I'm pretty sure I got like all 3 questions incorrect. I mean, if he were my real son, of course I would know at least. You know what? I don't think I can finish that sentence.
If it were my real son, I'd probably put more effort into remembering.
My son is Asian, I think. Okay, I'm sure if you answer all those questions correctly, he doesn't get hit by a car and die.
You know what? I'll take your word for it. It just feels like my poor performance in a game where your decisions matter feels like it was based on my poor performance with this interrogation.
I don't think that decision matters.
Really? That makes me feel better about it. Because I feel like, you know, there's a series of decisions.
Did you play through the whole game?
I played through the whole game. I got like one of the worst endings possible. My brother played the whole game. He got one of the best endings possible. He's like an accomplished author. Yeah, I died.
But yeah, like the whole thing at the beginning has to happen for the plot to happen. So like, yeah, Jason dies.
Wait, am I Jason or was my kid Jason?
Jason was the kid.
Wait, no, he survives in my run.
What?
Yeah, I saved him. I just died. And I'm pretty sure my brother saved him and became an accomplished author and caught the bad guy. The bad guy escaped on mine.
Are you referring to Sean?
Sean!
There are 2 kids.
Sean! Oh, is Jason like my other son?
Jason is the kid in the beginning.
Did he die? Like die?
Yeah, the one who grabs a balloon in the mall and runs off.
Ah, okay, I see.
Which one is that again?
Heavy Rain?
No, which kid?
That's Jason. Sean is the one at the end.
Gotcha.
Sean
is the second kid that you actually try to actually save. Got it.
Okay.
And yeah, you can save Sean, but Jason always dies.
I see. Oh, was the kid that I was being questioned about the one who dies?
Maybe I'm misremembering the scene.
No, I believe you. If whatever you say.
You've played the game and I haven't, so I'm going to defer to you.
Yeah, but it's been like 10 years. Oh, well. Well, that makes me feel better, because he would have died either way, even if I did remember his hair color. I'm just going to operate off. That is my canon until someone corrects me 2 years from now. All right, so let's go meet this person.
All right. But yes, I believe we'll go out and see Mr. Dodge.
Please, Mr. Dodge was my father.
I don't get tired of that joke, actually.
I really enjoy I really enjoy everything that subverts it. Like, please, Mr. Dodge was my father. Call me Vog the Indestructible.
Wait, that's so good. I've never heard that iteration of the joke. That's fantastic.
I think I'm not sure I've ever actually heard a version of this, but I do enjoy the idea of one person going like, "Please, Mr. Dodge was my father. Call me Saw." Well, call me. It's just like they give a fucking like military rank instead.
Nice.
Please, Mr. Dodge is my father. Call me Captain. Oh, I think one entertaining subversion of that I did see was a Tumblr post. It was a comic of Frankenstein's monster having it like legally declared in a court of law that Victor Frankenstein is legally his father, and thus all the legal responsibilities of parenthood do in fact apply. So, and then the judge refers to the monster as Mr. Frankenstein, and his response is, "Please, Mr. Frankenstein is my father. Call me Adam," or something like that.
Nice.
And someone else pointed out, like, it's extra funny because the fact that quote unquote Dr. Frankenstein never actually dropped out of college, so he never actually earned his doctorate.
Ooh.
So anyone that calls him Dr. Frankenstein is also wrong. So it works as like a subtle jab at his lack of doctorate too.
Nice.
All right. Well, we have ended our time in the Goblin DMV, so it's time to move back to time to move away from the Goblin Bazaar music and back to fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to use a different song, but I never actually thought to get one for this town. Oh.
That was absolutely top 2 DMV experiences for me.
What does Unsettling Temples sound like? Because at this point, I don't think that you guys are going to be going to the place that this song is for.
The Unsettling Temple, damn.
You looked in there, and then ultimately did not go in there. It was the big zone with all the shit ton of drow. You guys, like, I think one of you I think Silly Pickles like poked her head in there to get an idea of what was going on in there, and then you ultimately decided to fuck off and go a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't blame you. That would have been a pretty rough fight. And I wasn't sure how to make that not a fight. Although, admittedly, this music is a little bit more hostile than I wanted.
Yeah, it like picked up, like when it added that other instrument, I was like, oh, this is absolutely an Unsettling Temple song.
Yeah. Try to find some other instance to use that. It's a very cute banana sauce. Okay. Let's see. So, the two of you... Why is my cursor like this? Okay. The two of you make your way back to the entrance of the city. And you find the Captain Vog Dodge has not moved from his position. He he has been checking in with his men and keeping watch on his own post, but has not really moved. So he's clearly been awaiting you guys. As the two of you approach, he gives you a nod as a greeting and holds out his hand and says, "Papers, please."
Aha. I will
We give our papers.
I'll show my I will join the other two and show my papers.
Excellent. All right. He looks at your papers, and after looking at the papers, looks at the two of you, and looks at the third set of papers labeled Blockhead, and then he continues scanning the area and then sees Blockhead sitting on the ground at his feet, and then kind of like nods a little bit, like, okay, there you are. He hands back your papers. Everything seems to be in order. Excellent. Thank you for meeting me back here then.
Yes, you said you had
So-
something to take care of.
Yes. So, as I imagine you have been made aware at this point by now, we are at war with the Drow forces on this level of the mountain. Both us and the Drow would like to expand our territory. But obviously, we are not exactly on friendly terms, and I don't believe that that's going to be changing anytime soon. Though, any soldier worth his salt has to be open to the possibility of peaceful negotiations. With the war in its current state, I do not see that happening anytime soon. As such, we are currently in a sort of both. We're locked almost in a stalemate. Neither side is really making great strides in the war at the moment, and the only consistent battlefield has actually been the outpost where you would have met Cleuse Skull Cleaver. That passage marks the entrance to the next level of the mountain going down. Level 4, I believe it is. For obvious reason, that marks a vital passageway to control. We do not have the manpower to expand down another level, and while we do not believe that the Drow have much capacity to expand and hold this level and the next, we don't want to give them an avenue of retreat. So, we have been holding that as tenaciously as possible, though we have incurred heavy losses, unfortunately, in the numerous skirmishes that have happened there. Captain Cleuse is a very brave woman, and I admire her courage and her dedication as she actually volunteered herself to hold that checkpoint for the foreseeable future. A dangerous position, certainly one that I would not happily volunteer for. But her and her men are nothing if not dedicated. I believe her men have all. I believe she offered transfers to different units for any man who did not want to participate in that holding venture. But the point that I'm ultimately working towards, we're trying to minimize losses. The reason I asked you to meet me back here, me and my unit are on patrol duty at the moment. We are currently making our way to the east. We are currently making our way to the eastern side of the settlement, the eastern side of the hold. And we have inconclusive and sparse reports that a unit has recently gone missing from their patrol route shortly after entering the eastern side of the hold. While I do not fear death, I am still trying to minimize our losses. As you two are adventurers, I imagine that you have seen a good deal more conflict than the rest of my men have, and I would appreciate greatly if you would join us on our patrol.
I'm in by
I'm
all
down.
means.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. I greatly appreciate this. I can give you a heads up about few notable areas of the hold while we are patrolling as well, if need be.
Ooh.
Perhaps I can even give you an update on how the war has been going.
I'm all ears.
Sure.
So, follow me then. He gestures to his men and barks out some orders in Goblin. The three of them do the salute once again, and they fall into position, with two of them in front of your party and one of them bringing up the rear with another one of your party. While they do acknowledge that you are going to most likely be more capable in a fight than basic bugbears, or basic hobgoblins rather, you are still technically considered civilians.
Mm-hmm.
So they do want to at least, put up some amount of a front of propriety. And with that, they continue on to their patrol. Before I start getting into our current war efforts, do you have any questions for me that I could potentially answer, alleviate any curiosity for you?
Nothing immediately comes to mind for me. Perhaps Dolce will ask if we know anything about, well, their higher ups, perhaps their own captains, generals, commanders, the like.
Oh, the drow?
Yeah, for the drow.
Admittedly, no. We have not been able to capture anyone alive. Anyone who has been in a position to be taken alive has generally, before we can get them off of the battlefield, been attacked by some other monster. Killed by potentially killed by another one of the drow themselves. Usually a poison dart or a
I understand. I gotcha.
or a or crossbow bolt.
I see. Okay.
We did actually manage to capture one. Prisoner recently. Though it's my understanding that he has gone missing from the hold.
Uh-oh. How long ago did this prisoner go missing?
Not too long before we got reports of a patrol going missing as well.
Okay.
You may also have noticed in your adventures throughout the mountain that there has been evidence of vampire activity. Creatures and sometimes soldiers drained of blood.
Yeah, we've run into some.
Oh yes, where? So we can avoid those places.
That's one of the things that's a bit more nerve-wracking. It seems to happen in all kinds of random places. Anywhere that there are humanoids.
Hmm.
We have noticed that the drow have also been taking some losses. We have on our patrols out of the hold occasionally spied drained drow corpses. It would be encouraging if the implications weren't so dire. By the way, to the south of here, actually, we have an enterprising merchant who has set up shop down here named Kinrob. Haven't had the opportunity to look at his wares myself.
Mm-hmm.
Always busy, but if you find yourself with spare time, couldn't halt to go check out what he has to offer.
Okay. Yeah, maybe after the patrol,
Yeah.
I'd be interested.
For the most part around here, it's just old homesteads from the original settlers. We aren't actually sure who occupied these dwellings, but admittedly, we don't especially care. We make use of them, though. For the most part, it's housing. For our forces. Though, since we got reports of the patrol going missing from this side of the settlement, we haven't had anyone. We haven't been allowing anyone to stay in these dwellings for some time.
Oh, I will ask if he knows anything about the spider patrols. You know, since we're in a very similar city to what was going on with them.
I'm not entirely sure what you would want to know. The drow, we do know that the drow breed and keep giant spiders as pets and war horses, as it were. Makes sense that they would. It makes sense that they would seek to use. Makes sense that they would seek to use spiders in place of drow as patrolling guards, both because it wouldn't have as much impact on their military that required more investment. You don't have to spend as much time You don't have to spend time training a spider to use a sword or a crossbow.
Ooh, terrifying. I'm imagining it now. Just for the record, I'm imagining a spider that has like a sword in one hand, a sword in another hand, a crossbow in another hand, a crossbow in another. Oh my.
Mm. Yeah, this is my spider themed Thry Queen character. That'd be a fun one, honestly. Is there anything more specific that you wanted to know about them?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Knowledge is power, the more you know, and all that.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yes, exactly.
You know, they referenced that in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that phrase. And I was like, this feels so specific. This has to be a reference to something, but I have no
Nice.
idea what it is. I only learned years later. I was like, oh. Ha ha. You didn't know it was a joke then, but you may laugh now. Well, on with the patrol then. Right into the wall. Silly Pickles. As you pass by this door, you get a feeling that you have felt before.
Hmm.
In the last session, you passed by some big stone doors that could not be opened and you could not phase through. And there was a feeling of... There was an icy chill on the air. A feeling of some kind of dark magic vibes. You're getting the same feeling as you pass by this door to your north.
Hey, what's up with this door?
What do you mean?
Let me try Eldritch blasting it. We'll find out.
Got like a weird magic aura to it.
It does. I'm not very attuned to the arcane.
Have you guys been able to open it?
It's just a regular dwelling. We've had no need.
Ah. Run into one of these before and I was unable to pass through it.
I see. He makes some quick hand gestures to the other hobgoblins, and give me 1 sec. No. Cool. He makes some quick hand gestures to the other hobgoblins, and one of them walks up here to flank the door alongside him, and all of them draw their weapons. Vog pulls out a great sword. The three hobgoblin soldiers pull out their long swords. Two of them are holding them in both hands, and the one flanking the door is holding his with one hand, holding it up and at attention, while he slowly reaches for the handle of the door with his free hand. Before he flings open the door and they try to breach, just to make sure that everything's all right. Anything you'd like to say or do?
Nope, I can't remember anything else with the first one, so.
I will have a firebolt ready just in case.
All right. There we go.
Oh, Lord.
As soon as the door is fully open, your senses are Your senses are assaulted with the immediate. Oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind with how these fucking tokens walk. Your senses are immediately assaulted with the stench of blood. The hobgoblins charge into the room
No, no,
together, and
no.
they take up various positions. Before you, there is drawn onto the floor in immaculate detail an incredibly complicated. That's what I'm looking for here. Hold on. Just curious about this. I have no idea why that's how that works. An incredibly complicated magic circle that appears to have been drawn in blood that refuses to dry. At 4 out of 5 focal points at the ends of these points, right at the end there you go, in their own small magic circles, there are the fresh corpses of 3 hobgoblin soldiers and a drow in what appears to be basic prison attire. At the 5th focal point, at the top of the circle, is the vampire that you have come to know as the Vampire Muse.
I forget. Did we thought we killed her?
No.
No, she got away.
Yeah, I should have sniffed her like a third time.
Mm-hmm. I believe what happened is actually that you did kill her, but you did also learn that if she was what you thought she was from the notes that you found, a vampire muse,
Oh, right.
that there was something else keeping her alive, even
Yes.
past death. The other being that you killed was her human wizard companion, who is simultaneously standing at her side and dead and decayed in the center of the circle.
Impressive.
Nice. I love this mindfuckery that's happening right here.
From the 4 corpses and from the vampire herself, there is a you can tell that part of the function of the magic circle is let's see, there is a single line coming directly from these focal points that ultimately leads to the center of the circle. You can see blood has clearly flown from the corpses and from the vampire straight to the center of the circle, and evidently the whole thing seems to have been done to resurrect her human thrall.
So this seems like a ritual that has already taken place.
Correct. The fruits of their labor, standing at attention aside, right beside the vampire. When you charge in, the vampire greets you all coldly. Ah, you have returned. Joy.
So have you. You.
Yes, it is one of the perks of being me, isn't it, Bedge? She addresses the human wizard who stares ahead blankly.
Yeah, he seems like he's having a good time.
everyone has a good time in service to me.
Oh, okay. Well, you convinced me. No, I'm kidding.
All of my characters are goal fails, and they're also all incredibly quick to simp. I'm sure there's no meaning behind this.
While we're talking, can I burn a couple of my hit dice? Because
Yes, you can. Though at risk of giving the game away, you might not want to do that just yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
You fell for my trap.
No,
Upcast fireball, motherfucker.
dead.
Well, you all have been quite the thorn in my side, and I would be happy to be rid of you. But at the moment, I have preparations that I would like very much to attend to elsewhere. So, if there is nothing else, now that I've gotten what I need, we shall be away. You have a brief moment to do something if you want, but these guys are about to poof out of here again.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blanking.
I mean, might as well try to hit her, but
Couldn't halt.
Okay.
I mean, it could hold halt, but you know.
I will chuck a firebolt. Daffodil said I should, so I'm gonna go ahead and chuck a firebolt directly at her human thrall that's beside her.
Oh, interesting.
oh yeah, well, he's slightly more likely to die instantly, so that's fine.
Yes,
I like that.
That's definitely a why, and not because I still have this like hatred towards him.
All right. Well, can both make your single attacks then. So Silly Pickles, you definitely hit.
Max damage.
It's 18. I don't understand. This guy and this guy are sharing a health pool, and it's driving me insane. I don't know what causes that.
Yeah, it's why I started switching to doing like I think I use red for health now, and don't have it tied just because I'll be adjusting it, and all the other 5 giant spiders end up having their health adjusted. I'm like, no, stop it, bad.
In my experience, that's only happened if I like right click and like copy. If I like right click and copy a token, or sometimes if they're like being treated as like human players, which this guy isn't. I can't get it to do. I can't get the game to do this when I'm actually trying to get it to like. I can't get it to do this shit on my actual fucking characters when I'm a player in your game. But it will do this for fucking NPCs at random goddamn times when I don't fucking want it to. It drives me insane. Alright, so I've applied the 18 bludgeoning damage to apparently fucking every instance of this dude on the fucking map. And that firebolt definitely hits.
He's dead. Yay!
He is unfortunately not dead.
Damn.
But
we gave him something to think about. Wait, he can't think.
Don't worry about that.
But it felt good. You know what? That's really the important thing.
It felt good. That's what matters. And with that, the two of them poof. Once again into a puff of red mist. For a split second after you two wailed on him a little bit, you could see like some amount of like clarity pop onto his face, but just for a moment.
Ooh.
Like, he very distinctly had no agency even after he killed her last time, right?
Yes.
Strange.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe the spell as a whole is weakening. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that he was just resurrected. Maybe it's entirely for like narrative bullshit.
Okay, if all those guys get javelin attacks and they all crit, maybe they kill him.
They do not all get javelin attacks. Their reaction speed is not as good as the players, unfortunately. Exactly like the captain said, the two of you have better reaction time because you guys have more combat experience than the rest of these soldiers combined.
Nice.
We've run into her before.
I would like to go over and inspect the, like, I don't cut through, I like cut around to inspect where she had just been, try and see if I can sense any lingering magic. You may catch me sniffing, that's because I'm trying to check for magic, not everyone realizes that you can tell that there's been magic just by smelling.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. To address your character's actual question, yes, there is some of the red mist in the air.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I am also interested in the circle, though. I'm gonna if it happens to. I doubt Dolce knows anything about the circle, but she'll take it in, see if she can I don't know, read any of these glyphs. Unlikely, or if she can tell. Yeah.
Roll me Arcana. Let's see if you know something about this. Well, basically all it really all your examination really managed to do was confirm what you kind of already assumed. This is definitely some kind of ancient dark magic, possibly tied to the Hells. It's definitely not something you would have learned in school. But effectively, this seems to be a very high-cost ritual version of true resurrection. High cost in that it looks like it cost 4 different people their lives. It was also initially already clear that the corpse of Bedge in the centaur was decayed. Through your Arcana check, you're able to discern. It has definitely not been long enough since you guys killed him for him to decay basically at all, let alone that much. That is definitely a function of the spell. It looks like it used the blood, life force, and bodies of these 4 victims as basically as fuel for the spell, and then it seems to have used the body of the deceased as both a sort of fuel source and blueprint for Bedge's new incarnation.
I will tell our escorts that I am sorry for their losses.
Everyone sheaths their weapon. Vogue begins to go between the soldiers and check for their identification papers, just so that he can update their update their information on fallen soldiers and notify their superiors and or next of kin. Goes over here and gives some orders to this hobgoblin right here, who does the salute and then trails off. And he is gone. Bog addresses the two of you and says he's going to notify the higher ups of these losses, and we'll send a walk crew over to strip these soldiers of their equipment and valuables for the treasury and to collect the bodies for disposal. It solves the mystery, but not how I would have liked, though not too far off from what I expected.
I don't know what her goal is, but she's very dangerous.
Yes. We have had some of our own losses drained of blood. We attribute to the vampire we've assumed has been operating in the area. This, as far as I can tell, this is the first time any of us have seen her and lived. At least we have a description now. You seem to be aware of her, and she seems to be aware of you, though. So you've had dealings with her then?
Yeah, we even killed her once.
Vampires are tricky like that, I've gathered.
And while I don't remember the information exactly, I guess we'll share our information that we found about vampire muses.
Something else, basically tying her to life, I see. Bizarre. Well, the closest thing that we have gathered, this is confidential information. This is classified information I should not be sharing with outsiders, but given the situation, when we have had losses that we attributed to the vampire, it has been to the south of here, primarily in the tunnels. So, not even as far as Drow territory. If you want to zoom out your map a little bit and move to the south, I can give you rough estimates of what sort of areas they've noted some of these losses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dolce pulls out her tablet and zooms out a little.
The most recent have been about here. But before that, it was somewhere around here. And the first ones were close to Drow territory, right around here. Did you guys see those?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I saw all three.
Yeah. Perfect. We imagine, then, that the ones closest to our holdings have been the most recent ones because the vampire has been getting bolder going farther astray from what they've been using as their base of operations, for to hunt, basically. Could be wrong about that. Certainly didn't expect to see or hear though.
And remind me, this is the first door, right? The first evil locked door.
Which one? Yeah. That's that is the door that you could not phase through, could not open, and had an aura, had an icy cold aura of darkness, basically.
And how did those guys open this one? They just rammed it open?
Yeah. So the one down here seems to be like a very fancy door. The place, like it's very clearly intended to keep people out. This is just a dwelling. It's just a home. This is just a regular wooden door. So it leaves with the implication that the icy aura of menace was derived from what was behind the door, not from the door itself.
Gotcha. Well, then I'll point out on the map that that door is very suspicious and maybe where her secret lies.
I see. Well, as much as I would like to help, I admittedly do not believe that me or my men would be of much use in the fight, and I do not have the authority to authorize expeditions. And frankly, I don't believe that Azrock will authorize any expeditions out there at the moment, at the very least, just because, if only because of the fact that we need to focus our efforts on the drow rather than the much less tangible threat of a vampire.
I understand where your position. That makes sense. Okay, well, as far as the patrol goes,
well, as far as the patrol goes, we'll be picking it up from here, but frankly, the reason that I requested your presence was in case we came across whatever it was that caused the last patrol to go missing, which I believe we just did. I don't get the sense that we're going to be encountering. I don't get the sense that we're going to be encountering that vampire again at this point. Not now, in the immediate MO, at the very least. So I don't think your presence is strictly necessary at this point. Though if you wish to continue attending, I would not stop you.
well, Daffodil, what do you think? We could continue with them, but it sounds like perhaps there's a more pressing matter elsewhere.
Yeah, we might want to deal with her sooner rather than later, though I still don't know exactly how we're going to get through that door.
I'll turn towards our escorts and ask if they would know anyone who is a little bit more well versed in the ways of magic and the like.
As a matter of fact, there is a mage here in the hold who has not exactly been in our employ, but we have something of an understanding with her. If you head further to the north, and let's see, at the end of a distinct hallway, there is a single holding. Knock on the door and say that you're here in search of Frida Creeper.
Hmm.
The simple fact that you know her name will most likely clue her in that you have spoken to one of us. I can't guarantee that she'll be able to help you, but she might. She is cognizant of the threats on this floor.
Okay, thank you. Very helpful. Yeah, well, sorry, did you say it was north of here?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't reach it from the eastern side, admittedly, though.
Okay. So before we leave here, Bralef probably wants me to see if there are, is there anything on the bodies here? You know, waste not, want not, you know,
Uh,
you got to use every
Well,
part of the buffalo. You know how it is.
well, as Captain Vogdodge mentioned, the soldiers are going to be stripped of their equipment and valuables
Right, right. I see.
by the rest of the forces here for the purpose of uh, returning their equipment back to the armory for future use. So he would, and you know, their valuables to the treasury for the same reason. So he would most likely look a bit unfavorably on you looting their dead.
Okay. So instead, I'll use disguise self to disguise myself as Frank, and then loot the button. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'll make moves to step out of the room.
Okay.
I guess we'll head north, but perhaps we should take a rest at some point.
Oh Lord, yeah, I looked at my health. Oh yeah,
Mm.
perhaps that would be nice.
If you need to rest, there is a combination of there is an infirmary
Ooh.
just north of the registration center.
Okay, well, definitely
There
don't go that way.
is, if you want, there is a pathway up this way that will lead back to that side of the hold
Ooh.
as well, so you don't necessarily have to loop all the way around.
Oh, convenient. Okay. You mean loop back around after we visited the infirmary? Or
You can so he's saying that you can take this pathway up here to like cut right across
okay.
to the western half rather than needing to go like down. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you going to Silly Pickles?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, good. Dolce,
Uh-oh.
as you pass by this area, and now as Silly Pickles catches up, the two of you hear the distinct sound of a child sobbing from in through this tiny little crack in the wall.
Suspicious.
All
Daffodil.
right, I'll check it out.
You're somewhat incorporeal. And dead already.
All right, I'll have Blockhead check it out now.
All right.
I'll
Sorry,
watch your back, I guess.
was reading up on something.
Mhm.
As you enter the little alcove, you see a very young goblin child crying to herself in the corner.
Hey, what's wrong?
She looks like she's about to answer as she looks up and she sees you and shrieks, "Eek! A ghost!
It's okay. I'm a friendly ghost.
You promise?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was easy. No, I'm kidding.
Kids, man, they can be trusting. And not all of them are that smart. Between her sobs, she introduces herself. She says, I'm Huggy Bug.
That's a stupid
Uh,
name. No.
Yeah.
Some mean older guy stole my princess doll. He said
That's so mean.
He said he needed to. He stole my princess doll and said he needed it for the to trade to the Gobbler.
Well, that's just rude. What's he look like?
The Goblin, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get a very good look at him. And she proceeds to basically just give a basic description of a goblin.
Mhm.
You don't get the sense that she's given you enough to go on to be able to identify a particular culprit without just blindly accusing every single goblin in the settlement.
And what does your princess look like?
She's made of a very pretty. She's made of a very pretty silk, and she has very shiny eyes and silky hair.
Well, if we see her, we'll be sure to bring her back to you.
Well, she like kind of like does that thing where you put your two index fingers together to look all sheepish and shy. I could take you to I could take you to the Gobbler That's what he said. That's what that mean old guy said that he needed it for. Needed
Oh,
it
okay.
for.
What's the God Gobbler?
A nickname in
So-
college. Sorry,
They
continue.
say it's a big monster that eats goblins for a snack.
That makes sense. The title makes sense to me now.
Well, I'm not a goblin, so I should be fine.
They say if you bring it something you bring it something in trade, it'll give you something useful.
Ooh.
Maybe that's why he took my dolly.
Well, we can try and get her back.
Will you? Thank you so much.
Stand back to let her out and let her lead the way.
Crawls out of the little alcove. She takes Silly Pickles by the. She reaches up and grabs the index finger of one of Silly Pickles' gauntlets.
Mhm.
As she starts to walk away, she almost pulls the gauntlet out of place.
Nice.
She proceeds to lead you down here. Right as she's heading down further and further south, you're able to recall that Vargdodge said that there was a hobgoblin who had set up shop down here.
Ah, you said her name was Huggy Bug? Is
Yes.
this
Well,
vanilla?
It is, yes.
Huh.
I switch back to a new level of danger. I appreciate how much faith you have in me, but there's a lot of vanilla stuff that's been happening tonight that you've been like, is this vanilla? Did you make this? No.
Yeah, this feels like something you would make.
So she leads you up to the door, and as soon as she gets here, all of her confidence has waned. She does not want to test the theory that the Gobgobbler might not be as dangerous as it sounds. So he's in now.
All right. We'll go check it out.
At the end of this street, populated mostly by collapsed buildings, is a canted door with a bugbear marionette hanging next to it. Gouged into the door frame is the word Krek. K-R-E-K.
Krek?
Krek.
Do I know what that means?
Roll me your choice of history or insight at advantage.
I'm gonna guess it means knock in Goblin. Let's see. 22. Thanks, Blockhead.
You recall seeing the same word on a couple signs at the entryways of the Goblin Bazaar. Context clues lead you to believe that it might be the Goblin word for trade.
Ah. Close enough. I'll open the door. Ah,
Inside, you see
hobgoblin.
Yep. On the inside of the room, you see an old hobgoblin. The walls of the shop on the other side of the door have caved in, and the space that remains is filled with piles of junk and well-worn adventuring gear. The shop's proprietor is an old hobgoblin. Yeah. One sec. All right. So you open the door, and the hobgoblin proprietor is waiting inside. He stands surrounded on all sides by his piles of various piles of junk, and stands behind a makeshift desk or table, from which he seems to operate as a sort of register and cashier. He beckons you inside and says, "Welcome, welcome."
Does he seem to be? I mean, I'm probably gonna step in honestly, but I mean, does it seem like we can do business with this person? They're not gonna try to.
It seems like you could do business with this person.
I'll step in.
Could you both give me active perception checks at disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
9.
8.
Fuck.
All right. You don't get any.
You said
sense-
advantage, right?
No. All right. As you enter the room, the door closes behind you, and the old man addresses you both and says, "Welcome to Kinrob's Crack. What can I do for you? Anything in particular you kids seem to be in the market for?"
One thing, yeah. Apparently a little girl's princess doll was stolen from her and sold to you. And I'll give a description.
Well, I certainly hope no one's stealing things to sell to me. I will admit, I don't think I have anything in stock that fits that description. What was it? Made of fine silk, shiny eyes, silky hair. Well, I did recently come into possession of a doll that I would certainly says has shiny eyes. Give me one moment. Let's see where that is. Let's see. He turns around and begins rummaging through one of the piles of junk. Let's see. No, that's not it. He throws an empty basket to the side. He throws a battle axe off to the side as well. The way it hits into the wall suggests that it swings with more force than it would necessarily imply. Perhaps it's magical. It then collides with the wall and immediately shatters. For throws one thing off to the side. A live chicken escapes from one of the piles and sprints out the door before he manages to grab it.
You said the door closed behind us.
Yeah, the chicken opens it.
Ah, fair enough. Ask an answer.
Let's see. Vorpal blade, no.
Boring.
As he is rummaging through all of this, the door opens behind you, and a bugbear enters, holding a basket. He grunts and Kinrob looks up, sees the basket, and says, like, "Oh, thank you. Just set it over to the side. I'll attend to it later. Thank you." The bugbear, looking very anxious, sets the basket down on the floor and hurriedly leaves the room again. Kinrob continues to rummage through the junk piles. Could I get another perception check from both of you guys? Just normal this time.
Oh, dirty 22.
Hey.
Nice. So you guys are able to notice two things. One, the Kinrob the Hobgoblin, let's just say he seems to fill out the space that he occupies more than you would initially have expected him to. Like there's too much creature fit into a medium space.
Uh-huh.
The other thing you notice is a gentle cooing sound from inside the basket. Reminiscent of a curious baby.
So, sorry, was it the bugbear or the hobgoblin that fills up more space than me?
Oh, that would be the hobgoblin.
Okay.
The bugbear was gone. He dipped out as soon as he possibly could.
And he dropped off a basket that's making baby noises?
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. Shortly after you finish that perception check, Kinrob Kinrob says, there it is, and stands up holding a sackcloth doll with hair made out of fairly coarse string with two very shiny eyes that are it doesn't specify, that are made out of two tiny gemstones. Here it is. This is the only doll I've come into possession of recently.
That's probably it.
Excellent. It's yours for 3 gold pieces.
All right. I'm pretty sure I got the cash for it.
Okay, well, go for it then.
I'll give the 3. I'll give the 3 gold.
Excellent. It is a pleasure to have done business with you.
Same to you.
He hands the very raggedy doll off to you.
I wonder how much you got it for. Fucking 2 silver.
Who knows?
Well, let's go see if this is it. You have anything magical before we go?
Anything magical? Well, I do have a good amount of things here. It seems that the only things I have for sale are things that you could find in the adventuring gear table or tools table in Chapter 5 of the Player's Handbook. And admittedly, I don't have that much in the way of suppliers, so I would say that for any given item, there's only roughly a 25% chance that I have the item in question.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, in that case, we'll probably head out then.
All right. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Don't be a stranger.
And we'll head out with the doll.
Sounds good.
All right, guess what we found? I will
Did you find my dolly?
hold out the doll.
She very greedily takes the doll from you and immediately looks as though she is about to crush it between her arms in the most forceful hug her tiny little body can muster. It almost looks like the gemstone eyes are about to pop out of the poor doll's head.
Mage hand.
What are you mage handing?
Mage hand the eyes out.
My God. Yeah, we're gonna traumatize this kid right now.
Stealth check to avoid traumatizing the child. Sleight of hand, rather. Anyway, that'll be 6 gold. No, I don't say that.
Messed up.
Oh, that was easy.
The little girl, after composing herself, says, "Thank you so much for getting Princess Bobby back for me. Here, you could have this cool rock I found the other day." And she hands you a turquoise dolphin figurine worth 25 gold pieces in gratitude.
Holy shit. You said 35 gold pieces worth?
25.
25, okay.
Immediately trying to inflate it.
That's my bad. That was an honest mistake.
25,000 gold pieces. I guess
God
I'll let
only
you hang
knows
on to
why
that.
this stupid kid had to try to hire you guys to help instead of just participating in capitalism. She could have just easily sold her figurine and bought the doll.
Is she stupid?
Yeah, fucking idiot. She doesn't even have access to the fucking adventuring. It's like she doesn't even have access to the adventurer's book or some shit.
You can have the figurine since you bought the doll.
Okay, thanks. I'll hold on to it then.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Huggy Bug side quest.
All right. Back to...
We got a new party member.
I am not giving you a child soldier.
Hey,
But we'll go in and buy that Vorpal blade.
We need fodder for the upcoming fight.
Children in D&D walk on the same rules as Skyrim. She can be incapacitated, but she can't be killed.
Nice.
I thought children in Skyrim were completely invincible.
Are they invincible? I guess that's fair. Yeah, she's just completely invincible. You have met God.
Yeah, so let's have her join our party, and we're good.
Her combat stats are awful.
Hey, 1 damage per round adds up when you can't kill an enemy.
True.
Anyway,
right.
I guess we'll bid the child adieu, and then head back the way we're going to rest.
All right.
You do?
Huggy Bug also wants to get out of this area as quick as she possibly fucking can. She disappears into a house that she seems to have claimed as home.
Nice. Moving up in the world. Property owner. They grow up so fast.
Can't believe she owns property at just like 3 years old or however fucking fast goblins mature. Lightning, have you like finished Baldur's Gate 3?
I have not.
Have you gotten to Act 3 yet?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll let you know when I do.
There's a scene in Act 2 that I never actually saw, but I found it on YouTube, and there's just like one specific goblin who is just like shown as being like hilariously badass.
Nice. I'm excited.
Right, well, I've revealed the rest of the area. This right here is the infirmary.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What'd you say?
The
Let me mark it on the map for you. There we go.
nice.
Now we're officially violating the Geneva.
I was thinking the same thing.
So there you go. I done. Add this to the map layout there. My horrible cross is now permanently affixed. So, this is the infirmary. Do you guys want to go in?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
You open the door and are greeted by 4 familiar faces.
Hey!
Do you see their names? Forget.
I do not.
Really? I have it set so that you're supposed to be able to see their names. That's annoying. I have these guys specifically set so that you're supposed to be able to see their names. Why can't you see their goddamn names?
I'm not sure.
There I see him.
Yeah. Good enough.
Can you see all of them now, or just
All
one?
4? All 4.
All right.
Once
well,
again, freaking out over the fact that there's an official bugbear named Blarg.
Yep, you committed copyright infringement with your character.
But it means they're also super unoriginal because it's just one name off of Clarg.
So I don't know who Clog is.
He was the name of the bugbear boss from the original like playtest campaign for 5e.
All right, so we'll step in. I will wave, and I'm ready to get re-infirmed.
As you enter, everyone recognizes you guys, and they greet you friendly. Blog, seemingly being the only one here who can speak common, addresses you too, and is like, "Hey, it's good to see you guys again." I don't remember what voice I did for him, if any, but he's like, "Hey, it's good to see you guys again. I'm
Good.
glad to see you guys made it to the hold."
Yeah. Were these guys beat up when we last saw them?
They were not, but they wanted to. They were told to come to the infirmary to make sure that they were in good condition. They were like enslaved for an amount of time, so you know you gotta be sure.
Yeah, you know how it is. Wait.
Yeah. You know how it is with slavery.
I actually didn't realize what I was saying that time. It was an automatic, you know how it is reaction.
Yeah, exactly. Shame to see that you guys are here in the infirmary. I guess things have been rough out there for you for a little bit. But hey, grab a cot. We'll watch over you guys. Make sure that
Ooh,
no one gets any funny ideas.
nice. Third party watch.
Silly Pickles will collapse onto a cot and then just sort of phase through it while her armor sits on top of it.
Nice.
I will do similarly with my cot, without the
Oh, yeah.
phasing.
Under the watchful gaze of Blog, Glooby, Bootlick, and Eostabble, you guys are able to get a full night's rest. And take a long rest
All right.
if you so choose.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Cool. All right, I am set.
Yeah.
Dude, my character sheet is white. How do I put it back to dark mode? There we go.
All right. You guys are all rested up. Anything in particular you want to do now that you're all ready to go?
I guess we'll head north to find the
Ready, creeper.
yeah.
Ah, right. Genuinely forgot about that already. All right. Do you mention your plans to these guys at all?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right. Well, Blog gives you some clear instructions on how to get there from here. Then, if I can just pan the map a little bit so I can reveal shit more effectively. Well, Blog will. I almost said Clog. Blog will give you guys clear instructions on where to go to have the most efficient path to get to Preta Creeper. So I will just reveal that entire path for you. The path is clear in your mind's eye as Blog paints an incredibly vivid
Impressive.
picture on how exactly to get to where you're going.
Hell yeah.
Without cutting off any alternative paths if you so choose to look at other crap.
We should have some more people for directions like this.
I will thank him for vividly painting this picture as if I could vision it right here, right now. All right, off we go.
I like what Mad Mage is doing with the hobgoblins and the drow. Like I kind of wish just more of the adventure was like this, because like it walks. It's much more in line with what I'm looking for, what I was hoping for from day one. But too much of it is just like, fuck it. do whatever. Brilliant.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, what do you want now?
We're looking for whatever the hell her name was.
Rita
Frida
Creepa.
Yeah, creepy Frito.
Now I want Fritos.
Ah, very well. Come in, come in.
Kick open the door now. Oh, a lovely text you have.
Ah.
Oh, Frida. I thought it was
Dug
Frida.
out of a mostly collapsed section of the settlement is a stone hovel in a cave lit by continual flame spells cast in several old cauldrons lying among the rubble. The door to the hovel was slightly ajar, and homeless rats scurry in and out in a constant stream, though most of them stormed out as soon as you opened the door. Inside the hovel, feeding bits of juicy moss to a few rats that stayed behind, is a woman who you now know to be named Brita Creeper. As she turns to face you, you notice that you can't tell what she is other than a horrible abomination. She very clearly is some kind of humanoid, but where she presumably once had teeth, she now getting ahead of myself. Where she clearly once had eyes, she now instead has two beholder eye stalks.
Oh.
With two eyes moving independently of each other. One turns to face you as she speaks. The other stays affixed on the rats. As she finishes her feeding, however, she turns to face you fully. The eye stalk that was fixed on you does not move at all while she turns the rest of her head. And where her mouth is supposed to be, her mouth remains, but it's clearly twice as large as it should be, and it's filled with sharp, pointed teeth. She also wears the flayed, slippery, translucent skin of a Kuatoa as a cloak.
What a freak killer! Smash, smash, smash. No.
To what do I owe the pleasure of adventures at my door?
We found a creepy, evil magic door that probably has a vampire doing ritual sacrifices behind it, but we can't open it.
Oh, gods below. A vampire now.
Mm-hmm.
First, these hobgoblins come to me and tell me of a drow force encroaching across the dungeon. And now you tell me that there was a vampire at work?
The vampire muse, I think they're called.
A muse, you say?
I give the information we found on.
How very interesting. One of my colleagues was researching this strain of vampirism. Ooh, this is fascinating. I wonder if these were his notes. No, the handwriting's far too neat. Fascinating. It's interesting to hear that other people have heard of vampire muses. I wonder if these I wonder if these research notes even predate our work. Well. Regardless, if you are dealing with a vampire muse, from what I have read here and from what my colleague told me, at least that is a solvable vampire threat.
Oh yeah,
My
we
understanding, they don't really have much in the ability to. They don't have the ability to sire new vampires. Seems to basically be one spirit tied to a specific object. So presumably, so my colleague's findings and these notes here seem to corroborate the idea that if you destroy that object, then the vampire spirit dies.
will we know it when we see it?
Most likely. It will most likely be in a fairly secure location.
Like behind
You would
that evil door.
If you found a particularly noteworthy door that you cannot get past, that will probably do it, yes. After she says this out loud, she follows that up with, I take it then that this unbreachable door is why you came to me. Is that correct?
You were the recommendation we were given.
See. I simply must pass my gratitude on to whoever it is that gave out my name to any random passerby. May I ask who it was that directed you to me?
Do I get the sense that she's gonna like be like, oh, thank you, or like, I'm gonna fucking kill you?
It was a Huggy Bug.
This the way
Nice.
she has been speaking so far, you get the vibe that the resulting conversation is going to be more call my last email and less like pump shotgun, hey motherfucker.
Got it.
Okay.
It was Dodge, right?
That is correct, yes. It was Vog Dodge.
It was Bob Dodge.
Captain Dodge. Well, I'd like to. Oh, I'll speak to him later. Look, I'm going to level with you. I don't generally want to spend my time helping every random passerby, especially when it requires more limited resources. But a vampire is dangerous, even a vampire muse. Whatever that item is, though, I could still study whatever's left after the battle. That would still give us some information on this presumed extinct strain of vampirism. Could be useful information. Could pick up where my colleague left off. Now that he's probably dead or transformed into some horrible abomination against the gods' plans, I might even be able to completely usurp him and become the leading expert on this strain.
Ooh,
The
nice.
talks, the seminars I could give, assuming I don't get chased out of any conference hall with torches and pitchforks, of course.
Dreams and aspirations.
Well, I agreed to assist the hobgoblins with their war against the drow because of the threat that they pose. I haven't been able to go to the Sulphur's World in eons, it seems, but I still don't want the Sulphurs obliterated. So, I suppose I can help with this.
Hooray!
Whatever the catalyst for the Muse spirit is, I know you will need to destroy it, but just don't completely destroy it.
Right.
Non-functional, but not dust, you know? Leave
Can
something.
do.
If you promise to leave something for me to study and research, I will give you the means that you need to enter.
That seems fair to me.
By all means, sure.
Very well. She turns to rummage through her wizardly supplies, and after a moment of searching, she produces a scroll of weathered parchment. If you have the adventurers that you look like you are, you'll probably know what this is.
Do I know what it is?
I don't know. You have the adventurer that you look like you are.
Is it a scroll of knock?
It is.
Fuck yeah!
Look at you. Nice work.
Use this and you'll be able to get past whatever protections are on that door. But be aware, it's not subtle. You will not have the advantage of surprise.
Hmm.
Be prepared for whatever waits on the other side.
Good to know.
I appreciate the assistance. We will make sure to leave a little bit for you.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
I guess I'm not sure what else I would ask unless she's willing to divulge further advice.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll thank Prita profusely for her time and head back.
Dude.
So were you thinking back to infirmary, or are you ready to book it to that door?
Well, let's go to the door.
Okay. So I'll step out. Are there any areas we need to slow down, or is it basically like fast travel city to get back to the door?
You can fast travel. I just don't cast knock until I tell you I'm ready.
Of course, of course.
You know how I said that I didn't actually expect you guys to get to the ends tonight? So, like, I haven't actually, like, prepped a final boss fight very fully.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I mean, I actually, if it's particularly hardy of a combat encounter, I might want to save it for the next time.
We can do that. Full disclosure, my thoughts on ending Mad Mage were going to be basically like fight over, campaign done.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, no downtime between, like, fight over, campaign done.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am not anticipating, like, a session's worth of combat time.
I see what you mean.
Especially seeing as, you know, whatever. I was not anticipating, like, a session's worth of combat time, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand.
Are you feeling like kind of out of it at this point, or?
I am a little tired, but if you're saying there isn't a session's worth, then I think I just need a break, and then I'm ready to power through.
That's fine. I'm okay with taking a little bit of a break and then powering through.
Okay. Then, yeah, let me just take a break for a bit then. All right. Yes, I am now ready to go.
Okay. Just as you predicted, when you approach the stone doors, they remain. The second one remains as immobile as ever, and the icy aura is still present.
I knock on the door.
You
Oh.
knock on the door. So, okay. So, Silly Pickles goes up to the door, and would you describe how you're using this scroll for me?
Wait, remind me, is this door locked or is this one?
Second one.
Okay. She'll pull open the scroll and read the magical incantations on it and hopefully cast a spell on the door.
Alright. Sure enough. You cast the spell, and there is a booming crash.
Yep.
It definitely strains your ears, Dolce. And Silly Pickles, if you had any, it would definitely hurt those too. Especially being so close. Honestly, you're lucky that you're dead. But with that, with such a powerful sound, you would expect the door to be rendered into rubble. But it's not. It remains intact. What happens instead? Is it simply, as if compelled by magic, shockingly enough, slowly but surely, grinding against itself, rises up and disappears into the ceiling.
Oh. 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 Okay. Okay. Room's larger than I anticipated. Oh. Another
Aha!
door. Aha.
Right as the spell goes off and the door rises into the ceiling, the vampire that you have come to know and hate snaps her attention to the door. A combination of shock, fear, and fury flashes across her face, and all elegance from her demeanor is gone as she exclaims, "Son of a bitch!"
Nice. I love the punch in that.
How did you even get in here? What in the bloody hells was that?
She knocked.
Wouldn't-
I gestured to Daffodil.
Oh, you. God. I can't even think. Gee, God. I'm gonna kill you! Is all she can manage to get herself to say. Completely taken out of her element. But that leaves you with an idea that she might be more dangerous now than ever.
But also more vulnerable.
Aren't we all a little
Roll
bit
me
vulnerable?
initiative.
May I ask what the star things are?
They are something from what this room is actually supposed to be that I don't recall.
Oh, okay. Ew.
Yeah, these guys are yours, right?
Yeah, these guys are mine. The Vampire Muse is from a different edition.
I love things from other editions. I know when Stag watches this, it also likes other editions and posited the idea to me about what if I brought in things from other editions into 5th.
Is Veg the name of the dude?
Yes, we've been over this.
Ah, okay. And 100 is, I guess we'll figure what the fuck that is on Initiative 6.
I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, you know, that actually... And that makes a lot of sense. Whoops.
What?
No.
I accidentally just typed that in wrong.
Ah.
My bad.
Okay, so we don't know what that is, but... Oh.
Ah, it has 100 health.
No, it has 100
We don't know that.
dex.
100 AC.
It had 100 health.
Well, that answers my second question. Does the giant glowy red thing look like a muse?
You know, I haven't seen the cauldron since that Halloween one shot.
Mhm.
Yep. I considered reusing the token, but I made this cauldron from scratch, just in this fucking edition. It
looked great.
Thank you. It took a lot of effort to get it this like this. It was green originally. Fun fact: I was not originally going to use it for this. I was also not originally going to have this fight happen here, but you know, I know this is more thematically appropriate. So first up, you guys should be able to see all the names at this point. So for clarity though, the vampire here is Vanal Sylvain. The human wizard is Bej Kaldafu. And then the cauldron is pretty self-explanatory. The room itself Yes, the cauldron.
Sorry, go ahead.
The room itself has an aesthetic that does not fit the rest of the dungeon. There is a very stereotypical gothic vampire vibe going on throughout the room. However, everything in the room is also worn, dusty, covered in cobwebs, decayed, is not seen use in a very long time, clearly. Whatever vampire that used to live here has long since died out and been usurped by Vanal, it seems. In the center of the room is a truly enormous cauldron. Like pure black steel with red vapors emanating from the top. It seems to be perpetually heated from some unseen force. Radiating from it is also a sense of malice. As the fight begins, everyone's favorite wizard Bedge expressionlessly turns to face you guys. And he holds up holds up one hand, and a small mote of fire appears in the palm of his hand he monotonely declares fireball and flicks it towards
counter spell. All right. Come the fuck on. DC 28. I assume it's not.
That's not really. It should be DC 15.
I was planning to also use absorb elements with this.
Nice.
You are free to do so. Saving throw dex, high level constant damage. I believe motherfucker. Where on earth is it getting DC 28? Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be DC 15.
So you'd only be taking 6 damage.
Sick. All right. Well, as then, depending on how the description of the fireball will go through, you'll see the flames kind of are after the initial explosion, and you'll see that in my left hand is a blade of flame as I've absorbed the fire. Because spoilers, perhaps fireball is going to be launched in the near future, but I'll keep up the flavorfully the sword of flame now that I've absorbed some of the blast.
Nice. Okay. Spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect on you, and storing it for your next melee attack, specifically. No resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. Nice. Also, the first time you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the triggering type, and the spell ends. Okay. So yeah. Silly Pickles takes the full 24 fire damage.
Oh wait, can I reduce that? I forget. I don't think I can. Probably has to be an attack roll.
I think it does, but double check just to be sure.
When an attacker you can hits you with an attack, it's not an attack.
Gotcha.
Dang.
Okay. So that's 24 damage to Silly Pickles. And 12 that then got reduced down to 6 to Dolce,
Feels
which
good,
is
feels good.
That's a fucking great combination, gotta say.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that is his turn, and Silly Pickles, you're up.
Alright, well. Ow! So the Pickles is going to march 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we'll fling Blockhead 30 feet, so he can't. I don't think he can reach the cauldron in one move. Nope. So instead, he'll fly here and knock her into the side, or at least try to.
Okay.
12 probably misses.
Well, a 12 does unfortunately miss.
But now that he's closer, she'll use her second attack to fling him at the cauldron.
Okay.
Does a 22 hit the cauldron?
22 does hit the cauldron, yes.
18 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. That's not what I meant to do. 1 sec.
And since she just took 24 damage, I guess she'll burn a hit die to as her bonus action.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very good.
And then I'll end my turn.
Okay. Dolce, you're up.
All right, let's see if this works. Dolce will kind of like flourish the blade of fire in her left hand, absorbed from the fireball, and she'll like bring her arm back and try to throw it to cast firebolts on the cauldron.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that hits. All right. I should say also, each time, well, actually, I guess
one
it's
time.
more accurate to say, because of Silly Pickle's passive perception and the what I'm looking for, proximity. Each time the cauldron has been hit, you've noticed a brief shift in Bedge's expression.
Ooh.
Oh.
A sudden, almost imperceptible flash of clarity.
Come on, buddy. Snap out of it. I don't want to hurt you. Well, I kind of do, but I don't.
Anyway,
I have a question
so-
about this square. Is this like a pillar? Is this a box? The one that's right here. I'm hoping to.
we're just gonna say that it's like a piece of furniture that is enough that you couldn't walk through it, but short enough that I don't want to like retroactively say that Blockhead can't be flung over it.
If I were to leap over it, would it cost some of my 40 feet of movement?
Well, anytime you jump over something, the movement, like the tiles that you move through, it does still cost movement. So it wouldn't like,
Or I guess
like you'd be
additional
able to.
movement.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Is it additional movement?
I don't know. Just want to
I
double
don't
check.
think it's additional movement. I think it's just it costs your movement as normal.
Okay.
Like to make it so that a person can't jump in an attempt to get extra movement. So basically, like you could jump over it. It would, because it does go for 2 spaces. It would still use up 10 feet of your movement, but it wouldn't use 10 extra feet.
I see. Okay. In that case, I would like to move and attempt to go 5, 10, leap over, 15, 20, like vault over, 25, 30, 35, 40. For my free action, I would like to pull out the standard of night ambush for my back. I'll hold it up high. And then,
Nice.
with my bonus action, as I cast a cantrip with my action, I can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. So I will grip the standard of night ambush tightly and attempt to strike while the iron is hot, where I hit it with the firebolts in the side of
Okay.
the cauldron.
Cool. And remind me for the for the standard of night ambush. What did I do for this shit again?
It is a +1 spear with the added reach property. It also gives me dark vision out to 120 feet, can see through magical darkness.
Right, gotcha. Okay. So when you're using it in combat, it's basically just it's a reach spear +1. Got it.
Okay. I think I'm not sure if I guess if I grip it with two hands, I won't be able to react with a spell afterwards, technically.
Believe that's true.
All right. I will strike it with one hand.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep, that hits.
I'm not sure what this second. I think I might have coded something wrong. Should be.
Okay.
I think it's just a 4. I'll fix
Okay.
that later. I need to make a little bit more room on my computer.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I think I'm good. I'll keep holding on to the standard of night ambush, but in a more defensive position, just because I anticipate there's at least one hostile, if not two hostile enemies who have turns after me. So I'll just keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah,
Next
I'll
up.
stop there.
okay. Next up is the beautiful redhead that you love so much.
That's
who's gonna
right.
Go 5, 10, 15.
Makes sense.
And she is going to use the 2 moves that I just gave her.
Nice.
First up, she's going to swing one of her claws at Dolce. Does a 26 hit you?
Yes, 26 will hit.
Okay. So she deals 6 slashing damage to you with her new move, Flay.
Oh.
And you now have disadvantage on your attacks until the start of the Vampire Muse's next turn.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
that's phenomenal. And now for her other move, Backhand, which looks like she misses.
Woo.
So Vanal moves in front of you, slashes at you with one of her claws, and then immediately tries to backhand you with her fist and just completely whiffs at that point. Alright, that's the end of her turn, and next up is the Cauldron. The Cauldron is going to shake a little bit, and then a few I don't know, a bunch of blood will spray into the air from it
Oh.
as it uses Blood Boil.
Oh no.
Each hostile creature in the room, so that's you guys, needs to roll a DC 12 dex save or take 2d6 fire damage, taking half as much on a success.
Okay. I will make this save in a bit. I just remembered, could I add the extra d6 from the absorb elements for striking it, the cauldron with the... I don't know if it will matter because it seems to be based on strikes and not necessarily damage.
What do you mean?
Oh,
strikes.
When I absorbed the fire from the absorb elements, I forgot to apply it to my next melee attack.
Oh,
If it would
yeah.
matter for the cauldron.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it does have health. Yes.
Okay, it does have...
So
Okay.
So yes, you can apply that damage
Okay.
retroactive.
I'll hit this, but it'll be fire instead of cold. Since it's also a d6. Okay, well.
Okay. So yeah, and I'll need that DC 12 dex save. Silly Pickles does take the full 6 damage, and you reduce it to 3 damage, and
Okay.
that is going to be the end of the Cauldron's turn. So next up is going to be Veg. Bedge is going to once again hold up his hand, and 3 magical darts are going to form one by one, rotating in a circle, floating just above his palm, as he once again monotonely declares magic missile. And the first 2 of these missiles are going to fly at Dolce.
Okay.
See if I remember how this actually works. Yes, it only ends up rolling them one at a time. So the first 2 are going after Dolce. So that's 9 force damage to Dolce.
I'll take
and
them.
the third one, it's Silly Pickles for 2.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I guess I take the hit straight into my back since I'm busy trying to avoid attacks from
Yes.
the nail.
Also, since I was muted, I would like it if my +8 dex saves could stop fucking me on these dice rolls.
Oh,
That's fail. That's fail. Oh, and Bedge is going to go 1, 2, 3. No, 3. That's going to be the end of his turn. Silly Pickles, you're up.
Getting right up in his face. But Blockhead's going to keep smashing the cauldron.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit?
It does.
13 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And 12 bludgeoning damage.
Not bad.
And since I'm still taking hits, I'm going to burn another hit die, because why not?
Alrighty.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Dolce, you're up.
all right. I would like to cast Thunderwave at first level, directly south of me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Could be worse. It is just a level 1
right.
spell.
Okay. So that's a Constitution saving throw from the vampire and the cauldron. Okay.
And perhaps Blockhead, but yeah.
And perhaps Blockhead, yes.
You could also angle the cube so that it hits them without Blockhead.
Oh,
but
true.
It's up to you.
I could make it like the 3 that's. Let me see if I can snap to corner. Kind of like this square. Oh, wait, sorry. This square.
Yeah.
Remind
Yeah,
me,
you can do that.
Thunderwave a cantrip,
It's a first
a
level
spell.
so it's half damage on a save.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy, 3.
So
Is the DC
Vampire-
12?
It is unfortunately 12.
Fuck.
Perhaps I will save these spell slots for another time. I don't have silvery barbs on Dolce.
I forget, does it do anything special against objects?
Yeah, something about like unsecured. Let me see.
Unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away from you. Alright. So theoretically, if you put the whole cube on the cauldron, you could knock it back. Assuming it's not secured to the ground, which it might be. But I don't know if that would do anything.
I'll probably flavor this as just holding the ambush up high and then striking the ground with it. Like as I'm not gonna actually plant it, but I'm gonna like make the motion of planting it, causing this wave to burst forth. Since I cast a first level spell, let me just see if I've got anything to do afterwards. Okay. The only other thing I'll do on my turn is, as the standard of night ambush is billowing in the... Somehow there's wind in here. You can see off to this side there's like someone with a fan going. I will use a second wind.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's it on my turn. For my free action, I will actually... I know I just planted the night ambush. I think I might put it on my back and pull out the Winter's Bite Rapier instead. But other than that, I'm done.
Okay. Next up is Vanal. who's going to regenerate back up to full health.
Curses.
Darn, I can't believe that she regenerated all 3 of the damage I theoretically did to her.
Yeah. Alright, she's gonna start her turn with the basic claw attack at Dolce. 16, does that hit?
A 16 does normally hit. I will actually take this moment and using the Winter's Bite Rapier, I'll cast Shield by like
Nice.
bringing it up, forming like a sheet of ice to deflect the attack.
Cool. So, and let's see. That brings your AC up to 20, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna follow that up with another backhand attack. That is a 23.
Damn. All right. I guess that one will break through.
So she goes to swipe at you with one of her claws, and you deflect it last moment, and then she just reels back and she just kicks you dead
Nice.
on in the chest with a full force push kick. So she knocks you away 15 feet automatically. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
And you made the DC, so you do not fall prone.
All right. I like lean forward like to balance out the pushback so that I stay upright.
Nice. All right. It's going to be the end of Holoton. Actually, no. She's going to go 1, 2, 3. So she's pushed you away from the cauldron, and now she's moving over to you to follow up. All right. Next up is the cauldron. And once again, it's going to use Blood Boil on you guys. It's only 5 damage this time. Goddamn. But,
Hey.
okay. Alright, so
Unfortunate.
this time, Dolce takes the full 5, and Silly Pickles reduces it down to 2.
Whew.
Alright. It's the end of its turn. Bedge raises his staff up into the air. The tip of it near the top begins to glow orange. And then he expressionlessly brings it down and hits the bottom of his staff against the ground. And he uses Sculpted Explosion.
Oh, Lord have
Ah,
mercy.
you motherfucker.
So, centered on Dolce
Mhm,
and
of course.
hitting 20 feet out, but not 25, and hitting 20 feet out and ignoring Vinal. Each of you guys needs to roll a DC 15 Dex save or take 27 fire damage.
Oh, and I can't absorb these elements because
Nope.
I already popped for shield.
All right, so that is 27 fire damage to you two.
All right, applied.
I have not rolled above an 8 on my dex saves.
Oof. A creature takes 68 damage of the Trojan type and is knocked prone. So you are also both knocked prone.
Oh boy. Okay.
Might be immune to the prone condition. I am.
That's funny. Okay, cool. Well, congrats.
Not that it super matters for me, but
Yeah. That is going to be the end of his turn. So, Silly Pickles, what you up to?
I want to knock this guy upside the head, but I'm going to keep focusing on the cauldron.
That's fair. Yeah, that hits.
17 bludgeoning damage. And 9 bludgeoning damage. And I'm not doing too hot all of a sudden, so I'm going to burn another hit die. Awesome.
Oh, that's
Sick.
rough.
Yeah, it's the first bad one.
So as you continue to wail on the cauldron, it's like a clear crack starts to form in the cauldron.
Progress, nice.
For several seconds, Bedge completely snaps out of this out of the spell, and evidently has been fully aware of everything that's been going on. He looks pleadingly at Silly Pickles, and in the seconds that he has of his conscious mind, he says, "Please help me," and then once again, expressionless.
Fucked up.
Working on it, buddy.
Vanal, however,
Poke him
every
in the
time-
chest.
Vanal, however, every time you have damaged the cauldron, has been getting a bit more frenzied and frazzled, and clearly just angrier with each passing hit. All right. Is that the end of Silly Picklestone?
Yep.
All right. Dolce, you are up. It just occurred to me that there was a back button on the turn order now. That's so nice.
Ooh,
So if I
nice.
fuck up, and
Oh,
move
you don't have to go
forward,
all the way around.
I don't have to go all the way around. That's great.
Okay. Quick question: does the cauldron count as a creature? I assume it doesn't.
Why don't you tell me what you want to do,
I was
and
gonna
I'll
try
tell
the
you
favor
if
of
it counts.
Jui bucks through it, but I understand if I'm not able to.
Walk through the boiling blood.
You know what? I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna let you do that, and just deal with the consequences. Of it after
boy.
The fact.
How you doing health-wise, by the way?
Not too hot, actually. So actually, I might have to use the bonus action to drink a potion rather than use the favorite Jui Blex.
You are also in melee range of Vanal, keep in mind.
Yeah, don't worry, I've got a plan. So first,
Okay.
with a mobile feat, I will strike the lower leg with his Winter's Bite Rapier.
Yep, that hits.
Nice. I'm a little surprised.
OAC isn't that high.
Well, I don't have the best bonuses on the team.
So. You just have to make it through this one fight, and then you're going to be busted OP for any fights for the next adventure, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure it's supposed to also start at level 3. Alright, so that definitely hits. I've applied that damage.
All right. So, thanks. Oh, I accidentally closed this. Hold on. What did you? Oh, here it is. Shloop. I made a melee attack against a creature, so I'm going to go ahead and step away from her without provoking opportunity attacks with the intention of using my extra attack on my next target, the cauldron. So I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
Now that I've kind of frozen her foot in place, I'm going to run past her and attempt to strike the cauldron with the weapon.
Mhm.
Oh, let me get the nat one.
That hits.
Believe it or not, 2 natural ones does not actually hit, I'm afraid.
Okay.
You're close.
But no cigar.
Maybe
Damn.
if you just rolled something other than a natural 1.
I will, with my bonus action, consume a potion of healing.
Fair enough.
Okay. Action, bonus action. All right. Perhaps if I survive this next turn, maybe then I'll be able to favor Jui Bucks over. But for now, I'm gonna kind of like, I'm focused on attacking the cauldron, but I'm like keeping my head turned, like my eye over my shoulder, for when she inevitably breaks free. And I'll end my turn.
Okay. So it is Vanel's turn. She's going to go heal. How many spaces is that? Where'd she start? Right here? That's 5, 10, 15, 20. She's gonna start with a backhand. That's a critical fail, because she misses.
Slaps the cauldron.
She backhands the cauldron. She's like, ow, fuck.
Has to make the strength save fall over.
Yes, of course.
Instant loss.
Oh, strange that it's not prone to or immune to the prone condition. Seems like an oversight.
So all the blood just falls out. Everyone takes just like 28 d6.
Yeah, I like melt into it like the Terminator.
Thumbs up.
Exactly.
She's gonna try again. 16.
I think I'm torn. Last time I shielded something like this, I got blasted by what's his face over there.
If you do fall prone, how is that gonna fuck up your turn?
Mine probably not.
Oh yeah, you do have to use half your movement to get back up, right?
Dude.
Is it half of? Sorry, let me look at the mobile feet again. Your speed increases by 10. Oh god. Okay, so it cost me 20 feet, but at least I'd have 20 feet left over. Just in case Mr. Guy over there does something, I will take this hit.
Okay. It does also knock you 15 feet back.
Okay. I'll attempt to make that strength save, and then I'll move my character.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I assume she was striking like diagonally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's directly away from home.
Oh yeah, let me drop my AC back down. Oh my gosh. That is not the numbers I tried to hit. Okay. Well, I guess I'm prone then. Oof.
Next up is the cauldron. Guess what it's gonna do?
10 fire!
It is 10 fire damage from blood oil this time.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Alright, so that's 5 damage to Dolce. What about Silly Pickles?
Let's see. Hey!
Alright, so you both only take 5 damage.
Sick.
I've applied it.
Next up is Bedge. The Sculpted Explosion has to recharge on a 4 to 6. So let's see if that actually happens. That is wrong. Ignore that.
Oh, I got
There
so
we go.
scared. Oh my gosh. I saw the 5 and I was like, ah!
Well, TPK right there.
Maybe.
Not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to cast Magic Missile again. I'm gonna have this go once again. I'm gonna have this do 2 on Dolce, 1 on Silly Pickles. So the first 2 on Dolce. So that's 6 force damage.
Yep.
1 on Silly Pickles. That's 5 force damage.
Sorry, which ones did you say went to me?
Just the last one.
Alright. Oh!
Alright, that's the end of his turn. Silly Pickles, you're up.
Alright, sheesh. Smash this fucking cauldron, blockhead! As of this turn, Blinder's Boon should now be active on the cauldron, assuming it applies to it.
Ah, that's great. Okay, well, congratulations. That hits then.
15 bludgeoning damage.
All right. Yeah.
Then, 8 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And I guess I'll use a potion of healing too.
Another hefty crack forms in the cauldron. It is not looking great, and Vanal is not looking happy.
Neither are we.
It's fail.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Dolce, you are currently prone.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
I don't think I have disadvantage on ranged spell attacks. Should I choose to use the Circle of Blasting Scorching Ray spellcast? Even though I'm prone?
If you don't stand up, I think you would. I think prone gives you disadvantage on attack rolls.
Believe so. You double check that.
Creature has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Alright. In that case, I will spend half my movement, 20 feet, of my 40 to get up. I will take the circlet of blasting. I'll tap it against the side of my bullseye lantern, imbuing it with the flames, and then I will hold it up and aim all 3 rays of fire at the cauldron.
You can hold them. Okay.
So,
One sec.
yeah.
Raise fire. You hold them. One total. So we'll make a ranged spell attack for each ray. Okay. So each individual ray does have its own spell attack at +5.
Okay.
And each ray individually deals 2d6 fire damage.
It's like a 24,
Okay.
a 7, and a 17.
So 2 of those hit. So you get 4d6 fire damage.
I'll roll them separately. Ooh, that's solid damage.
Okay. Oh, you rolled them both already. Okay.
18 damage.
Pretty good. Oh, wait. So it can't be used this way again until the next dawn. Okay, so I don't have to have these tabs open anymore. All right. Anything else from you?
Yeah, actually, this is the time to do it. I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, the last of my movement. I will use my action surge,
Yeah! Yeah!
and I'll try to strike with the Winter's Blade Rapier, as it is, I'm pretty sure, looking at the numbers, the best option I have here.
That's fair.
Ugh.
That does miss, unfortunately.
All right. So I will extra attack.
Mm-hmm. That hits. That's 11 damage. Though it right at your point of impact, there forms another crack in the cauldron, and you can see that blood is starting to leak out of it.
Interesting.
It's with all the cracks forming in the cauldron, it does not look very stable any longer.
Okay.
Speaking of unstable, it is, if that's going to be the end of your turn, it is now Vanal's turn.
Yes.
And
Got my spell hand at the ready. Let's see if I survive.
By the way, can we say I moved here?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll assume that there was a tactical reason for that, but sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vanal looks incredibly angry. If put simply, it doesn't look like there is much of Vanal Sylvain left on the surface. Vanal Sylvain the adventurer has been seemingly completely buried right now, and you are looking at the expression of the vampire spirit itself that looks like ready to reach through your computer screen and kill you in real life.
Nice.
She's gonna go 1, 2. She just kind of kicks Blockhead out of the way. 3, 4, 5. Tactics gone. She is just swinging her claws at you right now. So attack number 1 on Dolce with her claws. That is a crit.
I would have bet money that that was a crit.
So that is 10 slashing damage.
Okay. I cough up blood, which mixes with the blood that spurt out from the cauldron at my feet.
All right. And for the second attack, an 8. She misses.
Nice. Whew.
All right. Next up is the cauldron. As it is leaking too much blood out this side, it doesn't really have enough to do full blood boil. It's
I'll
still going to
take it.
launch one, but it's doing half damage. So it's going to be 3 damage that can be reduced down further by the saves.
Oh.
Yay!
Holy.
So you're each taking 1 damage then.
All right. That puts me at a nice number of. Ooh.
If you had to like really quantify how you're doing, Bill Lightning, how would you say Dolce is looking right now?
She sure is looking like a 1 out of 71.
All right. Next up is Bedge.
All right, let's see that D6.
Let's see that D6, baby. Hey. Sculpted explosion does not walk. He is looking pleadingly again at Silly Pickles, begging her to help, but at the same time as he does this, he fires up 3 darts for magic missile and blasts them directly into Silly Pickles' face.
Uh-huh.
So that is 1, 2, 3
Oh,
for a total of 10 force damage.
got it.
And Silly Pickles, you're up.
All right, Blockhead, it's all you. 28.
That hits.
Holy shit.
16.
And on that 17
Okay.
damage bludgeoning shot, Blockhead soars clean through the cauldron, emerging the other side,
Coated.
covered in steaming blood.
And his expression is one of, like, fury.
Nice.
The instant Blockhead lands on the ground with an unceremonious hollow wood sound, like plunk, plunk, plunk. A split second of utter silence goes by, and the cauldron just collapses in on itself, reduced to metal shards, and the remaining blood spills all over the floor. Bedge immediately falls to the ground unconscious. And where's the throne room? Good enough. Bedge immediately falls to the ground unconscious, his mind overwhelmed with the very concept of volition once more. And Vanal grips the sides of her head and screams in pure agony. And after a few seconds of that, a ghostly face emerges from Vanal's gaping mouth and pained eyes, forming into the vague shape of a man's face. And the scream emanates from him as he slowly just fades out. And Vanal collapses to the ground as well. You did it!
Woo! Dolce will collapse to the ground away from the blood somewhere.
Now to finish this guy off. Smash, smash, smash. No.
You what? Sure. Dolce's covered in her own blood. She'll, like, crawl over to Blockhead and embrace him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a half-exhausted, like, just, like, slump.
Yeah.
All right. Dolce's face will be muffled into Blockhead, and she'll be like, "We did it!
We did it!
You did it!
We saved the city!" And I mean that this time. Maybe.
We actually did. We saved this particular floor of the evil dungeon.
You've done so much. You saved so many. You ended the reign of a new vampire before she could really come into her own. And with that,
Nice.
we cut back up to the yawning portal, where the two of you and your new at least
Kid.
acquaintances, Vanal and Bedge, are telling the story of your adventures down in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, and how the two of you and Blockhead, who I forgot to put on the map.
How dare you? Thank you.
Like,
Now it
it's
is
so
true
fucking-
size.
That is true size. It's fucking enormous. As the two of you and Blockhead saved these two from the clutches of an entire new strain of vampire. And there were at least like 3 people that just straight do not believe you at all. And at least and there were a couple people off in the background exchanging unpleasantries amongst themselves for the outcomes of their bets that they placed on your
Yahoo! I looked at my notes. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I saw things about those initial 5 gold. They die in 10 minutes. Unless that was ours.
Yep.
Nice.
Did we make any of those bets?
I don't believe you did.
Yeah, probably not.
While you two, while those guys are complaining about the outcome of their bets, an elderly gnome gentleman walks up to the two of you guys and says, "Great story, guys. Thanks to you, and by the way, thanks a lot. I made out like a bandit thanks to you guys." And he just casually like hands you guys each like 40 gold pieces, and he just walks away holding a bag of coins that he just basically paid off his house betting on you.
Nice.
Always bet on the adventurers.
kind of thought that the Yawning Portal soundtrack had a bit more bite to it. There we go. A lot of the actual music was weirdly quiet. So, with that, your adventures down in the dungeon most likely come to a close. Technically, there's nothing stopping you guys from going down there again, but I'm stopping you guys from going back down there
Nice.
again.
What bet with the devil? What contract? We didn't sign anything.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. Look, you didn't sign an actual form. He was kind of just banking on you guys not really questioning that.
That vampire spirit that flew out of her, that was the mad mage.
As far as you know, fuck you.
Yeah, as long as we believe it, you know, it's kind of like the whole. I roll insight. Is he telling the truth? He thinks he's telling the truth.
Good enough for me. He actually just gave up on you guys because you took so long that he was just like, oh, these guys aren't going anywhere. It hit me earlier today. We have been playing this campaign for more than 2 years. I believe, anyway.
Oh yeah, let me check.
Yeah, I think we were planning on moving. We were planning on stopping Dungeon of the Mad Mage for far longer than we were actually playing it.
I have my notes here. February 4th, 2023.
February 4, 2023. Okay, so we've been playing for about 1.5 years. Fucking Christ. Is that longer than we were playing Saltmarsh?
Saltmarsh was 9 months, I believe.
My God. I have been pulling my teeth through Mad Mage for longer than we were playing a campaign that I loved one.
Well, Saltmarsh, I think we were practically doing that every week, since I think back in that time we were doing twice a week for D&D.
True.
That is,
I think we
that is
switched to
true.
like, you know, every other week at least. So think of it more like 8 months, 8.5.
That's fair.
like half of 17.
That's fair.
Yeah, all good.
Well,
Woo! Do we level up, or did you say the next campaign is like lower level than we're supposed to be anyway?
I'm pretty sure the next campaign is lower level than you're supposed to be, but go ahead and level. Go ahead and level up one.
Let's go. I get like Indomitable, and that's it.
Yeah!
Higher proficiency bonus, sorry. And Indomitable.
I think I get something cool. I don't remember.
Where's that wish list? Well, let's see. What we were doing. We were gonna go do Dragon Heist, so I gotta start reading that. I
Yeah.
think Dragon Heist is a more like traditional style. So it's like here is one chapter, here is like the adventure for that chapter. Am I right?
You know, even though I've started it twice, I haven't gotten past what I feel like is, I don't want to call it the prologue, but like I think we just finished the quote unquote the prologue and I haven't gotten past that. But when the dwarf came up, I was wondering if you were gonna segue us immediately into it. Not that there's a dwarf at the beginning, but an NPC went up to us with intention, and so I was like, huh? Is it start? Because I guess that's a spoil things for it literally starts here, so I thought.
Yeah, I did see that it, like, I do see a single picture that has a dude and, like, this fucking fireplace. So it's this same room, just at a different angle. Which is not surprising. It takes place in Waterdeep, and that's where the Yawning Portal, Tavern is, so not super surprising on that. 228 pages. God, okay. There's a fucking pronunciation guide.
Nice. Well, I guess any last words for the viewers at home before I wrap things up over here?
Sorry that this turned out to be a recording rather than a stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. That was cool. That was epic.
I frankly didn't expect this to be the last session, but hey,
Hey.
we went out on a great note.
It may be the last session of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but these characters are going to keep adventuring.
Yep. Well, moving on to another adventure in the near future.
That's right.
Hey.
I'm excited. Hopefully, Dolce will actually finish one of these. Third time's the charm, yeah?
Yay.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for listening and watching. Catch you in the next one.
Catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.